not gonna do. First impressions last forever, and I want to impress you. They say love's a game, and I wanna be successful. Still, I caught these feelings, need to get them off my chest. Oh, baby, I'm here for you. Anything you wanna do, just say the words. And I got you, I give you everything that you deserve.
Hello everybody, welcome to a special episode of the Game Changers podcast. My name is Quinn St, and it's a pleasure and privilege to be here with you as usual. The music you just heard is a special exit from an upcoming EP called Convergence. This name is so appropriate as the artists, Dupes and Descendent, come from two diverse worlds but come together to create an amazing piece of art. Here is their story. I really appreciate the two of you coming on, man.
Appreciate you having us.
Absolutely. Thank
Let's
you
have
for
a
having
quick
us.
discussion. All right, guys. Well, many people might know you guys from maybe they're your fans, they follow your music, but I want to give both of you the opportunity to tell the audience who you are from your own words. So let's start with
Man,
Dupes.
you'll start with me? Okay, I was really hoping we were gonna flip. I thought we were gonna
Yeah,
flip
I'm
a coin or
starting with
something.
you.
Yo, I'm Dupes. I am Dupes, affectionately known as Sherwinn Dupes Brice, or maybe it's the other way around. They affectionately know me as Dupes.
I think so.
Singer, songwriter, producer from the island of St. Lucia, currently located in Brockton, Massachusetts, and just a lover of the arts, a leader in the creative community, and doing anything. One of my missions is to wave the flag of my island, St. Lucia, everywhere I go, and that's about it for now.
Great intro. Descendant, your turn.
Yes, it is Descendant. I am a human being who is passionate about music, writing, script writer, actor, filmmaker, marathoner, all of those things. And my passion is just to be a service. I think that's what music is all about, being a service to the people. So that's what I'm all about and what I try to represent every day in my life.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well said. That is nice and simple. I like where this conversation is already going. Right? So that's beautiful, man. All right, so let's just talk about music in general. Both of you guys are into music. Both of you guys are, I guess, music crazy individuals, for lack of a better term. How did you guys get into music? Each of you. I'm going to start with Descendant this time.
Man.
Um,
All right, good. I'm happy. Let me hear what you
as far
say.
as how I got into music, it was through education, learning through rhythm. I was the type of student as a child, I couldn't just sit in a desk all day and learn. I was more hands on. So anything with rhythm, anything with song helped me learn things, in my youth, whether, your address, telephone number, just simple things, your ABCs. We learn our ABCs, right? We learned that through rhythm.
Mhm.
So that was my beginnings of teachings, just through education of learning the passion of rhythm and writing and how it made me feel. So that was my early beginnings of music.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So I guess you got into music through school then.
Not even through school. I would say at home. My mom.
Oh, okay.
Mostly my
Oh,
mom
got you,
teaching
got
me
you.
those things, being at home and learning through rhythms and things of that nature. Being in a house that's always playing music, and being that I took a
Okay.
liking to that, my mom saw that as an opportunity. All right, well, I'm gonna teach you in rhythm, teach you through song, and see how that works. I'm gonna be more hands on rather than just saying, hey, sit at your table and do your homework. I'm gonna be more hands on and more active.
Okay.
So that was my early stages. Then I started doing poetry. Then poetry turned into songs, and here we are.
Got you. So I'm guessing you're kind of from a creative background. I'm understanding that. So your
Absolutely,
family's into creative. Okay, beautiful.
absolutely. At least
That's
musical
lovely, man.
people,
That makes a
at least musical people, because my parents were not, unfortunately, they weren't really creatives. My mom was
all
more of
right.
a businesswoman. She was a hairstylist.
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
music is, it's a part of hair. It's a part of hair shows and things of that nature. So
Yes.
just being engulfed in that and around that,
Hmm.
I guess the musical bug bit me.
For sure. That makes perfect sense
Yeah.
actually. All right, Dupes, your turn, man. What's your story?
Man, music has always been a part of my life. Music has always been. For as far back as I can go, I can remember, my mom always playing tunes, my dad, like it just helps. Music was just something that would just help the time go by if you're working on a difficult task, cleaning the house, cooking, you know, just every aspect of my life was tied into music. I'm a TV like freak, a film
Right.
freak, and then but I love musicals, like, and then my grandmother on my dad's side, she would come visit us like every summer, and it was like you literally watch The Sound of Music like every day.
Wow.
So it's like you're just it's kind of like Descendant is like, well, education sticks with him through music. I literally would like communicate through music, and then I
Right.
think I became addicted to like what
Right.
music would do to
Hmm.
people. And I was like, some part of me was like, yeah, I want to do that. Um, my father always, it was like imperative. He was like, you have to learn to play an instrument. And I can remember him having this Casio keyboard, and it was just like, yo, you need to learn how to play this, because at the very least, if worst case scenario, you're not making money doing anything, you could pull this out, stand by the street, sing some songs, and call it a
Makes
day.
sense.
So I don't go anywhere without a keyboard.
Very interesting. Very,
And that was my introduction. Yeah.
very.
I mean, to the art,
Mhm.
Yeah,
to the
that makes
creative
sense.
aspect of music, that's the introduction. We could, yeah, it could go further than that, but we could pause there.
For sure, for sure. That's very interesting, and I agree with that 100%. It always pays to have an additional skill. Now, for some people, it might not be music, but it always pays to have this universal skill that speaks to anybody, anywhere, and you
Facts.
can just fit into any society. You never know where you can end up, and then you just have this skill, this asset that you can use. And music is probably one of the most universal ones in that regard,
Absolutely.
because I mean, anybody, music is music wherever it goes, right? People
Absolutely.
might have their preferences.
It's timeless. It's timeless too. It's
Yep.
very timeless. Like, I mean, you see people like when you think about what do you call them, child
Hmm.
prodigies, and then you think about people that are in their 60s and 70s, they're still doing it. So it's something that stays with you
Hmm.
for a very long period of time, as long as it's something you're committed to
Even
and
I
you're
mean,
dedicated to.
For sure.
As with
music
all, no, yeah,
music
because I feel like, yeah,
surpasses our lifetime. When we're
Hmm.
long gone, the music that we create or that other artists create is still here, affecting people in a positive way, having that impact. It's not about being an influencer now, with today's content creation, right? But it's, we we love certain artists that were way before our time. But what happens, music
Hmm.
transcends generations, and 100, 250, 30 years later, we're still listening to some of our favorite songs because how it made us
Yep.
feel, the impact. It's all about the impact for me, at least for music, on how it makes people feel. The reaction that you get. If you go to a party and a DJ plays a certain song and you can see the frequency change in people's bodies because it hits them in a certain level in their heart and their chest because
Hmm.
it reminds them of something, but how it makes them feel, and that's what, I always say the music business is the people business because without the people, music doesn't exist.
Yep. That's absolutely true. That is absolutely true. So, okay, so that's very interesting. But I'm very interested because you guys both make music, right?
Yes, yes.
But who is the music that you make for?
Any and everybody who's
Because you spoke about
interested.
the impact. Okay.
Yeah,
So you don't make it with a specific target audience in mind, neither of
no,
you?
not for me, no. Because you just
Okay.
music, it trends, it breaks like Dennis Brown says he has a song called "Breaking Down the Barriers." That's what music does.
Right.
Even if you don't speak
Mm-hmm.
English, if I can perform in China, but I'm speaking English, they don't know, but they feel it. That's something that just can't be under. That's hard to explain. That's a spiritual thing. So I'm like, if you feel the music, then it's for you. I don't really say, well, this is for such and such genre. If you like this genre, you'll like it. But you just never know who may come across and they may fall in love with it. So I always say music is for the people.
I like that. I like that
I
sentiment.
mean,
Do you agree?
I've never, I don't think I've ever been asked that question before. But I love the sentiment that he's expressing because, yeah, like I'm a, as far as creating and performing music, there are a few genres that resonate with me the
Hmm.
best. But in terms of experiencing music, I'm really across the board. You know, I mean, there's certain stuff I can't rock with just because it hasn't hit me or
Right.
communicated with me in that way. So I'd say, seeing as how I would say over the last couple of years of my career, music and throughout my life, music has been my best way to communicate, or music is the best way to communicate with me. I say, yeah, it's for a universal audience. It's for anybody that it can resonate with, anybody that I would love to share my story with, or share someone else's story and inspire them to just do what music did for me. Keep me moving. Like music is better than coffee for me, man. You let me hear "Outstanding" by the Gap Band, and I'm good to
I
go.
was just listening to that last night.
Interesting.
There you go.
I was just listening to that song last night. But at the same time, we're not trying to appease to everyone, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Force my music, or I don't, nor do I want everybody to like my music. Because there's certain people I'm also trying to piss off, or also trying to provoke to use their mind and think
Right.
about, depending on the time we're living in, man. Nina Mo said it the best: music reflects the times. And when you reflect the times, not everybody will
Yeah.
agree with you, but that's also okay. That's the beauty of music. You know what I mean? So
Hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, but even music that you don't like, even music that you don't like or doesn't resonate with you or offends you, still impacts
absolutely.
you in some way. So it's again, it's about communication, because there's certain things that I hear and it my ears pick up and it's like, okay, well, I don't relate to that, but you're good over there because that's what you're trying to say. So I know this is where I stand. It's with
Absolutely.
all communication.
Hmm.
You know, really, this interview is making me understand that it's just our
Absolutely.
form of communication.
Absolutely. I agree with that 100%, man. So I guess it's so dynamic and it is a form of communication. Some people would tell you that their love language is music, right? So it's a form of communication, and it's very, very interesting in that regard. Okay, guys. Now I brought the two of you on here for a specific reason, right? Yes, I mean, I want to know about you guys and learn about what the creative process is like. But I know that you guys have a collaboration or a project that you had been working on. Tell me about this project. First of all, I guess one of you can tell me what the project is and how did this collab come to be?
I want to hear what Descendants gonna say.
Well, what the project is, it's an
No pressure.
EP. It's a genre class. The EP is called Convergence. I know a lot of people say, "What's the EP?" So we just call it an album, so people don't get it confused. It's a body of work
Yes.
of different genres, from hip hop, R&B, soca. And Convergence is pretty much, two different lines going in different directions. So, but we're collaborating, we're
Mm-hmm.
crossing paths, we're crossing genres, we're crossing the musical, uh, bounds of what music or what genre is. And we're just like clashing it all together. It's like a blank canvas, and we're just painting our thoughts. We're painting our hearts, what we, enjoy, and we think that people will also enjoy and have an impact as well. So it's everything from love, from relationships to, um, self confidence. And how we came about was, me and Dupes met at ASCAP writing workshops in New York City, and I think we attended at
Oh.
least two or three. And I think either by the
Yeah.
second one or the third one, we was like, yeah, we got to do some music together. It was just,
Yeah, it is true.
our
Mhm.
energy, um, just connected, and with other people too that we're still in contact with, but Dupes in particular, because I don't know, again, energy. He had a light about him that I was like, yo, I would definitely love to work with him as an artist. But most importantly, man, him as a human being, him as a husband, him
Mm.
as a father, even before I knew that, but just as a person, it was just like, I don't mind like hanging around this person or being around this person. So many people are so talented, but they're jerks. You know what I'm saying? Or they're not good people.
Right.
And Dupes is the total
Mm-hmm.
opposite of that. So that was another thing as well that kind of connected. And yeah, man, we just started to write, see what we came up with, and started record, and here we are.
Yeah, man. I'll say the same thing. Energy, man. Like when you have like that's the key to collaboration for me. Like when you, if anybody ever wants to like work on something and they hit you up, they're like, "Yo, let's work on something." I'm like, "All right, well, let's hop on a call. Let's have something to
Mm-hmm.
eat." And that wasn't necessarily it wasn't necessary with Descendant because since we had those experiences where we crossed paths or whatever, and we kept seeing what the other person was doing and supporting that, it was like, oh, the linkage is already
There. Yeah.
there. And then for me as a music producer, there are times when I'm creating things and I'm like, yeah, this is the dude that needs to be on this record, or he's the person that I hear. And I think since his energy, his output, his consistency, his dedication to the craft was something, and it's something. The best way I could put it is when you either find your tribe or your tribe finds you, and him and some of the other people that he works with, they're just like my tribe, bro, because like the energy is just a flow,
Right.
And I'd send him beats. I sent him a beat in particular, and I was like, "Yeah, I need you on this." And he was like, "I need to be on this," and we made a great record there. And then when he was working on one of his projects, he was like, "I'm looking for some stuff," and I was like, what am I sending this man?" I sent him some beats. He picked one, and we did that. And with Convergence, this project that we're working on now, I had like over 300 beats, and I was like, somebody need to like he need to jump on one of these.
5 folders of fire.
Yeah, so I sent him like 5 folders, and every folder was like either a month.
Yeah,
I think I have it in
for
volumes,
each year.
but for me it was all the beats.
Crazy.
Right.
Wow.
The reality of that is every one of those folders was the beats that I made for the month. So then I would send him
And
that.
I went through every one.
But there was this one song.
Every one I went through.
Yeah, that alone is dedication, because I don't think I went through all of those beats.
I literally went through every one of these. Yep. 10 a day. I was doing 10 a day.
But there was, again, 10 a day. You see that? He was doing his reps. But there was one particular song, as soon as I finished the first verse, I'm a first verse dude. Second verses are kind of tough for me. Mm-hmm. As soon as I finished that verse, I was like, nah, Descendant got to be on. I've been trying to figure out what record Descendant and I are going to be on together. Mm-hmm. And I sent him that. And I think that was the seed that brought us to where we are right now. Yeah, I made a song called Anything, and I was like, yo, bro, I'm getting ready to come back out there as an artist, and you need to be part of me, showing my face to the world again.
It was fire. I wrote it.
I
wrote it in 15 minutes. And it was one of those type of
there you go. So
production songs. I was like, oh, okay. I know this is what we're doing. Nice, I'm with it. Let's go. So it was, and I'm glad it's out now. Actually, it's out right now. If you pre-order our album, you get that song. The music video is coming soon, and we're very proud of that song. That song is, to say so myself, the song is dope. I think you're going to enjoy it.
Let's go. That's right. The project is dope.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Now, I know that, with any project, with any collaboration, there must have been hurdles. What were the hurdles that you guys faced when doing this project, and I guess in making music in general?
Just the distance. I think that was probably the biggest hurdle, especially trying to record now we have this project. All right, how are we going to, we got to do content. Right, we got to do music videos, we got to photo shoots, and like we had to travel back and forth to come. I think that was and scheduling. Our schedules are crazy. Most independent musicians, you're doing everything by yourself, so it's there's no such thing as waiting for Friday or waiting for, like, every day. It's something to do. So I think those were the biggest hurdles, but it wasn't big to the point where it was frustrating. It was just like, we just got to figure it out.
Yeah, definitely. As someone coming from St. Lucia, and now, because the first time I met Descendant, I made a trip to New York to attend that weekend. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So the distance, so not people always use I use it sometimes and I say, well, the technology makes it
Mm-hmm.
easier, but the technology can also act as a distraction. The technology makes you feel like, oh, I'll get this done when I get it done. I love what he said about, yeah, you can't, when you're in this craft or any craft, anything that you're dedicated to,
Mm-hmm.
it can't be waiting for the weekend or, you know,
Yeah.
well, as soon as I'm done doing this, because creativity is something that it just hits you, bro. So there have been many times I've been in the middle of doing something
Mm-hmm.
else as an entrepreneur and the creativity hits me and I either have to run to my phone or run to my
Jot
studio
something
and
down.
put those
before you
ideas
forget.
Yeah.
down. Yeah. And that's something that I had to discipline myself to
I do
do.
voice notes.
Um, I feel like, yeah, distance, time, scheduling. Okay, he said that. But the other thing is that we have so many ideas and so many concepts and so many things that we want to
Right.
do. And sometimes it's filtering through those
Mm-hmm.
things and prioritizing what's most important or how best to bring out the best of each other's energy. Yeah, because we recorded a project in one weekend.
Wow.
You know, one weekend, but it wasn't like, yo, come over the weekend and you
Mm-hmm.
freestyling and we'll make the no, he was preparation was there. The beats were there already. He was writing, you know what I'm saying? So when he came, it was just like, okay, let's just get down to business. And if anything was challenging at that time, we both very open-minded where it's like, oh well, yo, just
Right.
do what makes you feel comfortable. If I feel like or I hear
Mm-hmm.
something's not doing what it needs to do, then we'll take it from there. Or and the funny thing about it is the song that's supposed to represent being carefree and being stress free was the one that we
The
probably
most
went back and
stressful.
forth on the
That
most.
was the most stressful
So
one.
yeah, it turned into a stressful thing because it's like we
Excuse me.
want when people hear this for them not to hear the stress, but actually feel because that was literally. I don't know if you guys. I'm a nerd, as you can see by my posters, but it's like Back to the
Yeah.
Future, and you know the lightning has to strike at this
Right.
time for us to
Mm-hmm.
accomplish the mission. So we were literally make our goal was to capture lightning in the
In the
bottle.
water, right.
And we caught
And
it.
we did it.
Yeah,
We did
that's
it
true.
in one
That's true.
weekend,
We caught it,
and we
but I
caught
felt
it.
like we did it twice
Yeah.
or at least three times because it was
Wow.
layers to as far as K Free is concerned. The song we talk about, it was layers.
Yeah.
It's like we got the first one, then we had to
Mm-hmm.
listen to it a few, and that's another challenging thing too. Listening, because now you got to go. Okay, you recorded it and you're in the
Mm-hmm.
mixing process, right? But the
Right.
mixing, you have to listen to it multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And you may have, after a while, your ear can get drowned out or to get tired and you got to get other people to
Right.
listen to it. Or you hear mix,
Mm-hmm.
the treble is too high. I feel like I'm below the beat. Oh, I listen to it on my headphones. That sounds different from my PA system. Oh, I listen to it in the car. The
Yep.
car sounds different. So that was a hurdle too creatively, but that's just a part of mixing, right? But the more songs, the
Yeah.
merrier. Because
Part of the
people think
process.
5 songs, oh, that was nothing. No, it takes a lot of work. it
For
it
sure.
takes a lot of work.
It takes work, man. But it was fun, and
Absolutely.
it was a
No, it
good
was still
process.
fun
It was a
though.
good process.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. They often say that the what the goal is not at the end, but to enjoying the process and creating is really where
Along
the
the
Where it's
where
way.
the
at.
fun is. and
Absolutely.
and if you learn to enjoy the process, you learn to enjoy the progress, I could say as
Yes.
well, then you'll really appreciate your
Mm-hmm.
craft. And because I mean, after you get an accomplishment, it's nice for a while and then it wears off.
Yes.
But if you learn to
Mm.
enjoy the process, as difficult as it can be, then you'll really embrace your craft in that
I,
regard.
I agree. It makes it worth it. It
Nice
makes it worth
facts.
it.
Okay, guys, so we're transitioning quickly to one of my favorite segments of a Game Changers podcast. I call it the Quick Hitters segment. These are rapid fire
Oh.
questions. So answer them 30 seconds or less. The first thing that comes to your mind, you answer it. All right?
Hold up.
All right.
Hold up.
So,
So since it's two of us, how are we
Right, yeah.
doing
Are we
this? We
okay.
going
doing
are we
So,
going back and
one? You're
forth?
gonna
Or
ask
we
to lose
gotta
five?
answer
Or
each
yeah.
question at the same
no.
time? And if we
So,
do we
I
both
would
get
give
30
each.
seconds? Or do we get 60 seconds?
Oh, So let me explain. So I'll give each of you one question.
Okay.
So one question at a
All
time,
right.
so it doesn't get confusing.
Okay.
Right? So I'll start with one, go to the
Okay,
next
All
cool.
right.
person, and that regard.
That's fine.
All right.
Okay,
So I'm
cool.
gonna start with Dupes.
Oh boy. Let's
what
go.
what is the best piece of advice you've gotten? 30 seconds.
Keep pressing on, man. Just keep doing it. No matter how many times you fall, get up, just go do it again, and just stick with it. You're gonna get through it.
Yeah.
And keep pressing on is my mom's favorite song that I ever
Wow.
did. She every to this day. So keep
Yeah,
pressing
you're a
on.
smart guy. You kept it very simple. I like that. All right. Descendant.
Yes.
Who is your hero?
My mother.
Okay, interesting.
She's the my biggest
Beautiful.
hero. To this day, I look back on my life as a child and like, how did you do this? You know what I'm saying? Like it's. I remember,
Yeah.
not to give too much away, but I remember one time my mom was going through something, and we had to go with her, and we didn't know. We just thought we were. And once we heard what she was going through, it was just like, how are you able to do this with a smile on your face and act like nothing's okay, like everything is okay? Not
Yep.
to say it was a disaster, but it's just like as a child, it's like how, and now as a grown
Mm-hmm.
parent, I don't even have kids, and it's just like you did it by yourself. How? How were you able to do that and still take care of what you need to take care of by yourself?
For
So
sure.
that's the biggest
Wow.
hero. Like
Your
that's
hero.
come on,
Beautiful.
this that was
Beautiful.
easy. No,
Beautiful.
Yeah, man. These are easy
All
yeah, I
right.
know for now,
for
right?
now.
Final question. Final question. Final quick hitter question. Now I'm gonna ask both of you guys this question. So I'm starting with Descendant on this one. And this one might be a little bit more difficult, but there is a caveat. You have to help me get this person or your answer on this podcast, right? So I'm guessing you understand what the question is already. The question is, who would you like to see on Game
Oh,
Changers?
okay.
I'm starting with Descendant.
Oh, it has to be one person.
It could be multiple
Okay,
people,
cool.
man, but
Um,
just throw a couple names out.
I gotta go with my tribe, man. I am Chelsea. I am, and my guy Architect. I would love to see them on the Game Changers for sure.
For sure. I always tell my guests, send me the contacts and I'll make it happen.
Gotcha.
So just send me those contacts and I'll make
Sure,
it happen.
I got you.
Dupes, your turn. Who would you like to see on Game Changers?
Oh, I'm making this one difficult for you, bro. You gotta give me Umar Johnson.
What?
You gotta give me Nick Cannon,
What?
and you gotta give me
Well, you
Obama.
have
You
to
give me
help me.
those three.
You have to help me get them. I said
I
that.
got you,
Oh,
bro.
okay.
Anything
Well,
you need, we will keep. Yeah, I said I'm making because I see. You see, I gotta give you your flowers, bro. Like as a young media professional from St. Lucia, from my
hmm
home, you are
Absolutely.
already changing the game
Wow.
because you're doing things. You're doing things that I have been trying to do
hmm
myself. I don't even say try because I don't believe in that word, but working on doing
Yeah.
myself. You're doing it on your own. And I believe that once you continue, these guests, as long as they're
They'll
alive,
come
as long as they still mean something to somebody, you will have them, and I'll help you.
for
And
sure.
I'll
I'm gonna
send you their
add.
Instagram profile.
I'm gonna add to those flowers. Just professional. Not only professional on time. Not only on
Yep.
time, but I could tell that you have a passion for this by the questions that you have, by
For sure.
the creativity of the segment that you have on your show. And I must say, I am not to say my word is like, but I am impressed and then I am also inspired to keep on at a certain to keep quality. You have quality. And a lot of times people want to pick quantity over quality, but I
Yep.
can tell how you present yourself, how you present your platform is quality. So it's amazing, man. Once again,
For
thank you
sure.
for having me. So
For sure, for sure. Thank you so much for that. It means a lot to me hearing that from fellow creatives. Fellow creatives really are my inspiration. This is why I have this platform, and I always invite creatives on because they they help inform you know my process as well. Because I learn from them all the time. I like listening to people. I like talking to people, and what you guys have said there really means a lot. So thank you for that.
no, thank you, man.
You're welcome, man. You're
All
welcome.
right. Okay, so we coming to the end of the interview. Where can people listen to this collaboration? Where exactly? On what platforms?
That's a
Anyone
that's
can
a
go.
good question. Dupes, you want to? Well, since I'll go since last time.
Oh yeah, I could. I mean, we made some very specific choices as it relates to convergence. We've been noticing a lot of shifts in the music
Mm-hmm.
industry, and we decided to create something that was direct to fan, direct to
Ah,
consumer.
okay.
So it's the project is currently available for pre-order on both of our Bandcamp pages.
Okay.
So we'll send you those
Mm-hmm.
links. Mine is dupes.bandcamp.com. If you go through our Instagram, the link is in the
Mm-hmm.
bio under Convergence. Bandcamp is something that is a platform that both of us have used over the years, and for someone like me who's very prolific, might just come up with an idea for a song, record it, and want to release it.
Right.
It really takes away a lot of the boundaries and the barriers. And it also created. It's also a platform where the fans can pay whatever they like. So
Ah, okay.
when we set the base price, if it's well, it is $8 for the pre-order of the album. But if we have a fan that's like, "Hey, I'm giving these guys
We'll take
$150,"
it.
it
We'll
goes
take
that
it.
way,
Right.
We'll definitely take
and the data is there. Our mailing list is connected to it, and it will also be available on our websites as well. So it's just a matter of staying tuned, staying locked in with us on social media, staying locked in with us via our mailing list and different platforms, and you'll get the project.
For
I
sure.
want to
For
add to
sure.
that if
And
I could, if
go
I
ahead.
could. Um,
Of course.
how can I say this without sounding? Because people like to say artists are complaining, but we are the captain of our ships when it comes to this music industry,
Yes.
and streaming
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately is not artist friendly. These streaming
Mm-hmm.
services are not pro artists. They're taking
Mm-hmm.
away from not only musical artists but actors, script writers,
Yep.
and it's time to take back control of our music, of our destiny. So that's why we think you know direct to consumer is a lot important. And also want to clarify, me and Dupes has been doing correct direct to consumer before streaming even was a thing.
Existed. Yeah.
So it's I think it's just important that people take heed to that and realize how important that is for independent artists, truly independent artists that's doing everything for themselves. And I just wanted to
Mm-hmm.
just to say that because that's very important to us. And once again, if you pre-ordered our album, it comes with our new single, Anything. We're dropping the music video very soon, so make sure you check us out on YouTube. And yeah, thank you.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I concur. As they say, like it takes time, energy, money, resources,
Yep.
sacrifice to create art, and that sacrifice may come in different ways. Time away from your family, something, your health. Sometimes you have a health challenge that you have to deal with. Sometimes you have just different, but this different, issues
Yeah.
that you deal with as a
Mm-hmm.
musician. And one of the sacrifices that we make as artists is sharing that
Hmm.
with you, because we would love to know that if you're going through the same challenge, that this music helped you express yourself or found someone you could relate
For
to.
sure.
And that experience, that's the part about music that you can't put an algorithm to. You know what I'm saying? When we think about what's happening now, it's a lot more data than dedication.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And we wanted to do this project out of our
Right.
dedication to the art. You know what I'm saying? And not necessarily
The
about
data.
how, okay, if we do and that's a challenge that we had too.
Yeah.
Like we have these meetings and we're like, oh, what is the
Yeah.
right day and how do we do this and do
Pushback,
that?
the
And of course, it's
delays, all of
important
that
to
stuff.
plan.
But it's important.
Right. Yeah, it's important to do that. But if there was a day that I was supposed to mix a record and I wasn't feeling 100%, it was more important for me to feel better
Yep.
to get into this
Mm-hmm.
project rather than stress myself through it because the label says we have to have it this
Yep.
day. And oh my God, and it's really about picking up the phone and say, hey, Descendent, man, I knew I was going to get this to you Monday, but this is happening. And I feel like, and he was understanding, and we made that happen. And that's part of
Real
collaboration as well.
For
communication,
sure.
and I think that's important in understanding. I was just watching the interview before about I don't know if y'all remember Keenan and Kel was saying how
Yes,
he was
yes.
going through a
Hmm.
lot in his
Competition.
life, and him and Keenan were going through a situation, and he didn't let Keenan know.
Hmm.
So he kind of
Right.
broke. They kind
Okay.
of went their separate ways because he didn't share and he
Hmm.
didn't open up. And I think that's the problem with the music industry. There's just imaginary level that we have to get to. Oh, I have to be the top rapper. Oh, I have to be the top R&B artist. Oh, I have to be the top musician in order to get this. When it's all opinionated, all of this stuff is opinionated. We may come out with the. Some people may feel like this may be the greatest EP that I ever heard. And some people may not like it. Some people only may will rock with half the songs or
Hmm.
whatever. But that doesn't take away from the quality and the passion that we have as musicians because of someone else's opinion.
For sure.
You know, so that's important that we communicate and we
Yes, sir.
understand what's our goal and what success looks like to us. So that way nobody can defer, nobody can say, hey, well, you guys are not successful because you didn't do what I think was successful. Well, that's not what we're trying to do. We're trying to do what we think is successful. And once we have that mindset, nothing can get in the way. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's important too, because, you know, people are willing to stress their bodies to the limit for opinions, you know, and I think that's unhealthy. And I'm glad that Dupes was able, I'm glad that I was a human enough to hear Deuce when if he wasn't feeling well or when something else came up. He's a
Hmm.
family man as well, whatever, or vice versa. That we can say, okay, cool, and now, oh, come on, man, we trying to be number one. Like that's so opinionated,
Right.
like you know what I mean. So that's important too.
For sure. For sure. And I really like the fact that you guys took each other's, mental health and well-being into consideration. And that's one thing that we really champion at Game Changers. Yes, part of innovation, because our slogan is celebrating innovators, and part of innovation is learning that the way that things were done in the past many times need to be changed and transformed so that we can have better futures, and mental health is a important part of that, especially as creatives, because if you're not in the right mental space, then you cannot create at the best of your ability.
Absolutely.
And I love that you guys have respected each other's mental well-being to the point that even though it might have delayed your project a little bit, you guys have decided that, hey, we're gonna do this well when everybody's in the right mental space and they're feeling the best to do it. So I commend you guys for that as
Thank you,
well.
bro. That was well.
Man, it's so much. It's we appreciate you, man. Thank you. And sorry to say that, but it's so important for us to be here to show you guys the
Yeah,
music. That's the best part. Like being here to witness and see what impact is making.
Reaping
That's
the
what I love
benefits.
it.
for sure. For sure.
Yeah. And and Descendant, I know this is we have more conversations, but like it's the conversation. It's like, oh, you don't eat that. So bro, you're a runner, you're a marathon runner. So why when I run, my feet hurt? He's like, yo, you're running with the wrong shoes. And then I'm like showing him my city and introducing him to other
Yeah.
people from my city. And up until a day like today, they're calling me and they're like, yo, you guys finally dropped. I remember when he was here. When is he
Right.
coming back? And that's what this is about. When you talk about the
That yeah,
journey,
that
that's what this is about for me, bro. Like I got my running shoes. I got the, you know what I'm saying? Because when the music is done, that's the music. And we have that time capsule to represent. When I hear the music, I remember the meals. I remember the jokes. I remember
Everything.
going to Malcolm and you know what I'm saying? Going to Malcolm X's house. I was like, I've lived here all my life. I would have never gone there if Descendant didn't say, yo, let's go there.
Right.
So these are the things that I appreciate about the
right.
process. Yeah.
For sure.
Well
For
said,
sure.
Deuce.
I think, yeah, for sure. And I think that's a
Appreciate it.
perfect note to end on. I really liked how you brought out, and I think young creatives can really learn a lot from that. Because just listening to how you guys are willing to respect each other's humanity, and because you respect each other's humanity, you have become successful in this space. So thank you so much for that. Thank you guys so much for
Thank
that.
you,
I
man.
appreciate it for myself,
Appreciate it,
and I
bro.
know because I have game changers listening to this, they will also appreciate this as well. All right, guys. So
Yeah, man, for
we've
sure.
quickly come to the end of our podcast. If there's anything that you guys want to leave our listeners with, Now it's your time to shine.
Oh, now
Listen, then you go.
the
Yes, yes,
pressure's
you
on
go
now
first.
because I thought you was gonna go. Um, I just whatever your passion is, follow through. And I hope that you enjoy the music that we put out and the music videos and the shows that's coming in the future. And I appreciate y'all love and support, man. That's it.
Beautiful. Dupes.
Thank you guys for the time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for the opportunity to spend the last couple of minutes with us. And yeah, if this is something, if there's anything that you feel passionate about, it keeps you up at night. When you wake up in the morning, you feel like you got to work on it. Find a way to work on it because it's gonna make an impact. It's gonna inspire someone. And yo, listen to Convergence. Go get Convergence. Pre-order it. As soon as you pre-order it, you get the first single. You're gonna
For
love it.
sure.
Trust me. If you like feel good music, it's there. If you are introspective, it's there. If you're just trying to have some fun, it's there because we really just
Facts.
had fun and we that time capsule that we created, which is called
Hmm.
Convergence, of our two worlds clashing and coming together. We just want you guys to be a part of that experience. So thank you so much for having us on your show. I'm looking forward to seeing Chelsea and
Obama,
Architect and
Uncle
Umar
Umar
Palmer.
Johnson.
I'm looking. Listen, I'm waiting. So I'm there with you, bro. All the best. Thanks
For
again.
sure, for sure, for sure. All right, guys. So this is the end of yet another amazing episode. I want to remind everybody to subscribe, like, and subscribe. It does a wave of good for our channel. It helps spread our message. Also, remember to find us on audio streaming platforms. For podcasters, these are the major platforms that we can really spread our message. So we're on Apple Podcasts, we're on Spotify, we're wherever you get your podcasts. Follow Game Changers podcast with Quinn St on there, and I'll see you next time. Also, remember to get Game Changers merch. I always have to plug the Game Changers merch as
Got to
well.
do it.
If you if you are a game changer, showcase it. Rep your inner game changer with our beautiful merch. Anyhow, this has been yet another amazing episode. As usual, stay hungry, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.